Good evening, one and all. It's Sunday, it's the very end of the week, and it's time that we get back into a little bit more good old Warframe. Welcome on in, one and all. Hope you're doing well where you are around the world. And in case you haven't guessed it yet, today we're focusing a little bit on Ash. That is the idea today. But welcome in, everyone. Hope you're doing well wherever you are around the world. It is absolutely sweltering in the UK at the moment. Yeah, maybe hotter in other places. Don't want to hear it, don't care to hear it, because it is still sweltering here, and it is also bloody humid. So, hopefully I won't die during this stream. I have water to help with that. Yes, indeed. Ladybug saying my inner clock can finally calm down about not knowing what day it is because there was no stream on Friday. Yes, I was out of town on Friday, actually Thursday and Friday. So both that meant not a lot of development on the video because, well, I wasn't at my computer, can't do it then, and of course no stream. But it is fine, it is fine. You can look forward to a video tomorrow. Those of you who are here on Wednesday will know exactly what video that is about. Those of you who are not, you'll find out tomorrow. It'll be out then. It'll be out then. Will I go and try out Throne and Liberty when it releases in 5 weeks for free? Manaholic, that sounds like an advert because I have never heard of that before. Yep. I have no idea what it is, what context it is. I have no idea what genre it is. That's just complete nothing to me. Yup. Hey. So, the reason we're having a look at Ash, for anyone completely unaware, I did do a video on Ash and Ash's Bladestorm in particular quite some time ago. Unfortunately, it turns out the D decided that was too powerful, that it was achieving too much, and resolved various interactions that was otherwise making Ash very, very powerful. Problem is that they weren't exactly very clear on what they resolved. So I need to go and have a look, basically, as to what has happened there. I've been putting it off and off and off because, quite frankly, if they're going to change some things, yeah, who knows what else they're going to change. So I just kind of left them to it. But it's been long enough now. We're on a hotfix pause, so sure, why not? Let's have a look. Let's have a look is the idea on that. And again, for those of you entirely unfamiliar with Ash's Bladestorm, is this fourth ability here basically just gets even more edgy for a moment whilst marking a bunch of enemies nearby, and when he deactivates the ability, all the marks turn into Shadow Omaiwamo Shindaru stuff. The enemies barely have time to ask what is going on. I'm gonna try the beta of some other game. It's no RPG. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm not going to be touching that then. No, I do not have any room in my life for any more MMOs. I am done. Yeah. I am done on MMOs. I have no time left to grind for various things. I have no time left to just start once again doing the whole leveling up and resource gathering requirements. I simply ain't got the time for it. Straight up. I prefer things that I can get into them. Warframe is the exception because I'm already into it. So, I've already got that covered. Yeah, you can only have so many Warframes in your life. Only so many. So, this is what we had before as a Bladestorm setup with a cheap Storm setup as well, but again, all of those details are probably now incorrect. Or at least a number of them are incorrect. I have had a look as to what the wiki has to say, and whilst it is a little bit light on information that I recall, it certainly did still talk about Savage Silence having effects, things to that matter, so we can still see how that all interacts. But where I want to start is with a good old test build. Straight up test, and it says it deals 2,000 damage direct, so what we can do is a very simple starting point, is take an enemy that has just over 2,000 health, and see if they survive. At least the initial hit. The slash will kill them. If I can find an enemy with as close as possible to just 2,000 health, if we get the enemy instantly dead, then it suggests something else is up. That's the idea. To help with that, let's get rid of our companion, so that's definitely got no interactions. Let's get rid of our melee weapons, that's got no interactions. Ambrix should be safe. None of this should have any effect whatsoever on the ability. If it does, what even? A Nairu should be safe because it's just an armor bonus. That's the only passive that it has of significance. This is just an operator one. This is just an operator one. So it should be good. It should be good. Ladybug saying Bladestorm is one of those abilities where you need a million paragraphs of fine print to figure out what interacts and what doesn't. In the past, perhaps. Now, maybe not. Maybe not. Also, let's sort out this standing real quick. Just drop that down a bit before I accidentally cap it out. So, head on over to the sim. Our favourite place. Let's see what we got. Guy say, I think it would be great if you tested mainly influence with Bladestorm. Let's see if that works. Why mainly? Why do I have to mainly test influence for it to be great? Can't I test everything rather than just one thing? Or at least mainly one thing? Hello, Esprit. How goes? Oh, Ash is going. That's what's going. Alright, let's see. So, Butcher might be an option here. Let me have a look. If I grab a Butcher on the wiki, can I get them to 2,000 health? Nice and simple. We don't need to worry about their armor. It's just their health. Yes, we can easily get to 2,000-ish. How close can I get? Oh, 2018. That's actually really good. So, 42. Level 42. 2018.63 health. So if they die in one shot to this, then we know something is weird. Insta-death. Okay. But it said 2,000. So now we have the information that there is more happening than just our stab. More than just our stab. So the question is now, how can we backtrack that information to figure out exactly where we're at? And I think the best way to do that, first of all, is to grab a heavy gunner. Get ourselves one of these, give it maximum level that we can. I'm not going to do steel power for now because of other modifiers, just that. First of all, I want to see if it survives. Papa Tim say there's 3 marks, so 3 times 2,000 or not? No, not. Because 3 marks don't hit instantly. They go 1, then 2, then 3. The 3 marks applying is always going to apply. They'll only use Mark 2 and 3 if all enemies have then been gone through with Mark 1. That's when Marks 2 and 3 started to get used. So, with this, let's have a look. And we'll see, indeed, first mark, second mark, third mark. Including damage numbers which we didn't see before. And this has left 4 slash procs. That is very, very curious. Not 3 slash procs, not 6, 4. Okay. Alright, that's well, that's a starting point that I'm not entirely happy with. I'll be honest with you. If I rerun that a few times over, how many times am I going to get 4 procs versus something else? Four procs again, okay. You know what, I'm going to spawn a bunch of them in at this point. There we go. So do we get again 4 procs? Yes, on that one. And you? Yeah, so far consistent. Yeah. Which is still leaving me to question why. Oh, 5. Okay, so there is definitely a chance. There is definitely a chance-based mechanic going on here. So we have some kind of slash status above and beyond our 3 expected minimum procs. So what I'm getting so far is what we previously knew is that the Shadow Clones had their own invisible hit. I say invisible because we don't see its damage number, and evidently that is still the case. They still have a status chance even when I have them melee equipped. They're still doing something. So that does need to be further investigated. That does need to be further investigated. So, the next question I have then is, how much health does this one have left? Because you see, we just hit them with the ability, and it was 4 procs on this one. And I think this one got 5 procs. So I want to see how much health does this one have left, And how much health does this one have left? And unfortunately, the way to find that out is a little bit awkward. Just a little bit awkward. We're going to need to access a different Warframe entirely, which is Trinity. It's Trinity. Reeve? No, Reeve is a problem because we zoom past the enemy. It makes it hard to see what we're looking at. I'm not sure where a couple mods went here, but that's not nice. Anyway, so what I want to use here is Trinity's Energy Vampire, because this will do, if I recall, 25% of the remaining health as damage. If I recall correctly. Oh no, it's split across the 4 pulses, so it's 6.25% of the remaining health. That's what it was. I'm going to triple check the wiki on that one now, because of that little mistake. Wiki. Yeah, 6.25% of the target's current health is dealt to its true damage, assuming it is above 25% of its max. Yep, there it is. There it is. Now, if we take that 6.25% and we increase the strength, then we can get a higher value, which means it's going to be more precise, which is going to be very helpful to us. I'm going to take Blind Rage to whack that up there. And we're going to keep the duration to keep these pulses apart, because otherwise that could be a bit annoying. So instead, I am going to go for a different strength boost. We don't need to worry about efficiency, that's going to be fine. And I can go for Umbral Intensify. Yeah. So this now has increased the strength by 243%. And if I have a quick gander at this, 2.43 times 6.25 would be dealing 15.1875% of the target's remaining health as damage on the very first pulse. Which is not a nice number to work with, but it's a number. We know exactly what we are working with. Elementa, hope you're doing well today. So I'm going to need to quickly grab a notepad off screen here. There we go. 15.1875% of remaining on hit. Dots. Hello, Zonos. I'm doing alright. Hope you're doing well yourself. Alright. Oh, just check. I didn't have growing power on there, did I? No. Good. No conditional strength bonuses. That's good. Okay. So this target on the left here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the damage number scale, just so I can better see what's going on. Apparently I had that down at 50, okay. Let's go 134. Alright then, you. 16641, wonderful. And you see that it goes down over time because of course they're losing current health. So 16641, if we divide that by the 15.1875%, which will give us a higher value because we're dividing by a percent below 100. Let me just grab that here. 16641 divided by that comes out to 109,570 health on the 4 proc. And then on this one, which had 5 procs on it. But first, yo! Meriadek, thank you very much for gifting a sub to the community there. That's gone out to Yuli666. Yuli666. Thank you very much for that, Meriadek. And also, what's going on in chat here? Hold on. Guyver1992 said, I'm out, don't want to be part of this stream if we have self-appointed security. Alright, what happened here? Alright, you're the guy who asked about melee influence. You said, melee influence, I love it if you could test for melee influence pocking. Having had me already suggest that, yes, I'm aware of it. Followed up by Brelly, if he feels the need to test it, he'll get to it. He already replied to your last message. I mean, if you're triggered by that guy, gotta say, that might be a bit overly sensitive. But sure. Okay. Whatever. I'll just move on from that. The two of you sort it between yourselves. I'm seeing how much damage this person takes. 16,583. 16,583. Good, that is lower. 16,583. Which means if we again divide that by the percentage, this one's remaining health was only 109,188 on the 5 proc. Which means that that one, taking that additional slash proc, it took an extra 382 damage due to 5th proc. And because we shouldn't expect any additional normal hits, we can assume that is entirely just proc damage. Assuming it's entirely proc damage. Which we know from Ash would have applied more than just 6 times. How much longer, I forget. Let me grab Ash and check his passive. Uh, 25% extra damage, 50% longer. 50% longer is the important bits. That was 9 hits. 32 divided by 9 comes out to 42.444. Now I'm aware that we're deep into rounding error risk here, so I'm not holding my breath on getting the good information out of this, but we know that I was doing 42.444 damage per tick. And we know that slash procs do 35% of the base damage per tick, but this has a 25% bonus. We divide that by 0.35 times 1.25, all in brackets, giving us an actual hit behind the scenes of apparently hit of 97. That's what we're getting there, is that the enemy was hit for a hit of 97 damage.
Great content, and please don't forget to hydrate.
Darth Wash Bear, you're very welcome, and I will not forget, don't you worry, not in this heat. So thank you very much for the 13-month resub. Darth Wash Bear, cheers. Oh. Cheers indeed. Okay. So, on that calculation there, we're getting that the enemy was taking 97 extra damage per mark than they should have taken. That's roughly the ballpark we're working with here. Now, I'm not sure where the rounding comes into this. I'm not sure where any quantization comes into this, which can mess with this. I am aware that that 97 is very close to 100, and it strikes me as more likely to have a round number. Not guaranteed, but more likely to have a round number. So there may be some mess up going there. Hype train already started? True, yes, there is a hype train. I didn't even notice we'd got that started. Yes, indeed, and as a result of that hype train, there is a potential for a summer bonus if y'all want that to happen. Snake Raider, cheers to the hype train. Oh. With all this heat, have I moved iced tea? No, it's still a nice hot mug of tea. I do like that. Yes, it does supposedly warm me up more, but also at the same time it's tea. Tea is nice. Alright, Ash, so we're narrowing down the details. We have that there is a possibly low status chance, but not that low. I would put possibly somewhere in the 20% region on current observations on this shadow hit, and the shadow hit seems to have a hit of about 97 damage. Mariadek, thank you very much for the 200 bits right there. Token contribution to the trade. It's not just a token contribution. That is a full 200 bits, and I much appreciate it. Cheers for that. Oh. Cheers indeed. For anyone curious about how the hype trains work, every time you complete a level, it resets the timer. Any amount of subs or bits contribute to it. That includes gifted subs. All of that contributes to the hype train shooting on up. And if you complete a level 5 hype train, you knock out the summer bonus as well, which means free Prime Warframes. But for now, let's see. So, putting all this together, do I like lemon in my tea? I can't say I've really tried it, but also I'm not sure I'd want to, knowing the two different flavour profiles and how they'd probably interact. I just go for an English breakfast with a dash of milk. That's what I go for. So we know from before that a level 42 Butcher died outright to the damage. But if I take them to level 43, they have 2,121.81 health, which theoretically should survive both the 2,000 ability damage and the hidden 97 ability damage that seems to be going on. Miss, cheers. New vid cooking? There is a vid already in the works, that'll be out tomorrow, but it's not on this topic. This is more research than necessarily a video. A lot of what I'll do with Warframe is research things for some small or long amount of time, and then discover that there's not really a video to talk about there. It's an unfortunate reality of this game that a lot of what I'll look into just ends up being, oh, well, that's just pants. That's not worth a video. Alright, so we have our level 43 Butcher, which I'm hoping is going to survive the immediate hit, and we'll see a second mark get used to try and hurt them. I touched the console there to make sure I reset any kind of stealth bonuses or whatnot. So, Butcher, let's see, do you survive this? For a moment. No. That's problematic. That is definitely problematic. Okay. Let's work this one through. Now, here's the thing that's problematic about that. I calculated the additional damage that was happening based on the slash procs that were hitting the heavy gunners before, because I got one of them took 4, one of them took 5. I took the difference. That extra damage will be the 5th proc. I'm assuming that 5th proc comes from this weird shadow hit beyond the 2,000 damage, and I worked on the assumption that we could roll back the calculation to figure out, okay, how much damage did it actually take? Because of that calculation coming off the slash proc, it wouldn't be affected by armor, so it should be just that value. But that enemy then, that Butcher, with more hit points than the combined ability and shadow hit, still died. So there's more going on than first seems. And that is problematic. Papa Tim says skill level until it's not time to hit. Oh, we can absolutely do that. The problem is that the information I thought I was working on is now proven to be nowhere near as helpful as I hoped. Because it shows there is a greater component to what is going on than merely hit leading to slash proc leading to damage taken. It may be as a result of rounding errors due to the sheer scales involved and number of calculations we have to step through. If that's the case, yikes. Rounding error to that amount though is unlikely. More likely, there is something more going on to the hit than just the slash proc, the hit leading to slash proc, which would indicate that we've got a lot to figure out, and not a lot of ways to see what we're figuring out. Do I think damage quantization messes it up? To that scale, I wouldn't expect so. We saw the 2,000 damage from the ability, so we know that landed 2,000, which would leave the Butcher with 121.81 health. The calculation said that we would be dealing 97 damage to it. Damage quantization almost never reaches that scale of being out from the expected values. Further to that, I was calculating off the damage that the heavy gunner actually took, not an arsenal value, which means even less quantization could have happened in the way there. So I don't think quantization is what's caused this. Instead, it is something to do with the hits the Butcher is taking. So I'm going to take this one up to level 50. Level 50 gives us 2,922 health. Now, if this one dies straight away, we're in real bad juju. Because that is a lot out. Could it be possibly took damage from hitting the wall? You might have. So, let's see here. Good, he did survive that hit. Okay, so we're at least in the right ballpark. Slash procs always take 1 second after being applied. Always. So, it wasn't the slash proc that killed it. If it was, we'd have seen the damage from the slash proc. So that's not the case. Okay, let's take this to 45. 43 died, 50 did not to the very first hit. How about you? 45 survived it. Okay. It could just be a little bit of rounding then. I might just be out by the slightest bit due to some rounding in what I've calculated, which is annoying if true. 44 is an instant death. Okay. So, 44 is instant death, 45 is not, which means on that initial hit we are hitting between 22, 27, because that's what the Butcher's health is at that level 44, to 23, 36. Interesting, okay. Somewhere in that region is the actual damage we're applying with this shadow hit. So the slash block as calculated that the heavy gunner suffered was a total of 382 extra damage. I counted that back to be 42.444 damage per tick, and then multiplying from that, or dividing from that, whichever you want to talk about it as, basically turning that slash proc into the hit that caused the slash proc, I calculated only 97 damage. But we're instead looking at a region of 200 to 300 damage. Flight saying, could it be part of damage dealt by the Shadow Clone isn't affected by the number of marks used? Very unlikely, as on previous iterations of Ash, each Shadow Clone had one Shadow hit per mark. They would use that on hitting, not marks applied, just on hitting. So we'd get 3 ability hits and 3 Shadow hits. Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3. So if what you're saying is true, Flo, if your suggestion is true, we are really into new territory, and I highly doubt that. I don't imagine D rewrote Ash so much as just took away some benefits of it. Welcome in, Rocket League. Welcome in. Okay, so where can I take this testing next? Here's the question. Let's try and get a handle on how much damage could be applied here and what level of Butcher is needed to survive that. If we're applying 3 hits of 2000 damage with Slash Proc, guaranteed, that's 6000 damage straight up, and then we're getting 6000 multiplied by 0.35, multiplied by 1.25, multiplied by 9 for the actual Slash Proc damage. From the ability, we should be getting 29,625 damage total. Is it a Butcher issue? Butchers are not an issue for most things, Dallasfire. I will work on the assumption it is not a Butcher issue until such time as I'm really stuck. Because if I have to assume that Butchers are broken, everything's broken. I am currently running under the assumption that the hidden damage is also finishing damage. The shadow hit. I don't remember if it actually was or not, so I should probably try and check that, but that would be digging through the old video. I'd dig through the text of it, but I think that got lost when my hard drive failed. Now here's the thing, is that if it's not finisher damage from the shadow hit, then armor comes into play, but even then... Well, no. Yeah, no, even then, I calculated less damage than in the Butcher actually died to, which means that it can't be an armor issue right now, as I dealt more damage than I expected, not less damage. Yeah. The Amprex should not be having any effect here. Also, Elementalist only affects the status damage, not the direct hit that we saw. Even if it increased that, we'd have then calculated an even... I think... Oh, okay. Let's check that I haven't got it on. Let's just do that. Right, it's not on, so moot point. Deal with. Anyway. So direct damage, we've got 29,625. We then know as well that we've got at most 336 additional damage from the Shadow hit, because any more and it would have killed the level 45 Butcher. We do know that the slash proc, the 5th slash proc that the Heavy Gunner took, caused it to take around about 382 extra damage. So that can apply anywhere 1 to 3 times. So all told, the maximum we should be seeing, assuming 1 bonus slash proc, will be the 29,625 plus 336 times 3 plus 382. At most 31,015 damage. If we get 4 procs. So with that in mind then, I don't think I'm going to get a Butcher anywhere close to that amount of health. Nope. So I'm going to need a different unit, and that is where we can bring in a Trooper. Although before I do, level 45 Butcher. Yo! God's drunkest driver. I mean, fair enough then. Please do not drink drive. But all the same, welcome on into the channel proper and enjoy your lovely Bluetooth badge and all the other bits that go with that. Cheers for subscribing. Much appreciated. Oh. Hello, Noah. Welcome on in. So one thing I want to quickly check here. This Butcher, currently armoured. Bam! No more armour. Do you die? More importantly, does the... No, the first hit didn't kill him. Okay. That's good. The first hit didn't kill him. So it is very unlikely that armor is an issue for us right now, which also means I should be able to safely remove the armor from this Trooper, and we'll get the same results throughout. So let's see. Trooper, I want to get to 31,015 health. Can I do that? Easily. Good. Okay. At level 84... they have 31,139 health. So if I summon it at level 84 and it dies to the ability, either it had 5 procs on it or I've done something wrong again. Because we're blackboxing it, I'm just trying to figure out what I can see here. So, for starters, game, please do a 4 proc, not a 5 proc. Let's see what we get. 4 procs. He is bleeding. It's going to take a moment for all that to kick through. And he comes within a sliver of death. A sliver. Look at that. There is basically nothing left of the dude's hit points right there. He is hanging on by a thread, which is exactly what we expected and hoped for here. That is very, very good. That is very, very good. And in fact, it is so low, I should be able to use Equinox to get an exact read of his hit points. Near enough. So I'm going to do exactly that. We got 4 procs on him, we got everything the way we wanted it there. Let's grab Equinox, let's make sure we've got ourselves a maim. Yes, we have. Let's get a read on his hit points. I see 862 at the top there. That is a 75% conversion. So 862 divided by 0.75. He had 1,149 hit points remaining. 1,149. Okie dokie then. So let me just add this all into my notepad. Trooper, 1,149 remaining. Started with this level, they should start with 31,139.77. Which means he lost to the ability there. 31,139.77 minus 1,149. 29,991 hit points. More or less. Okay. And as I said just moments ago, only 29,625 of that, well, I say only, that amount should come from the ability itself. But that would suggest then from the shadow hit. That would suggest the shadow hit only hits him for 365.77. Including the slash procs, which incidentally is less than the slash proc damage calculated against the heavy gunner. That's okay. What was up with the butchers? Nothing. Someone else suggested it. I'm in a bit of a pickle on this one. One unit, from what we calculated, took more damage from the slash proc only, a single slash proc only, than another unit took from the hit and slash proc combined. I'm a little stuck on this one. And a rocket here wants to switch up the music. Sure, let's do that real quick. Whilst I slowly process what we've experienced here and try to figure out what we can do about it. Okay. That is not helpful. What did I calculate it? Engineer 1, I'm not about to rehash everything I've just said there. Welcome into the stream, I take it. Follow along as we go. I'm not going to repeat everything I say for everyone who's curious on arriving. Alright. Let's have a gander then. What else can we do with this? Let's recheck that slash proc here we were getting. Just make sure that is the right number. I think it was, but let's check. We get hits of 2,000, slash proc 875. 2,000 times 0.35 times 1.25, 875. That is correct. Okay. So that is working. That is working at least. That was enough to kill him. That was enough to kill him? Let's see, do we get 4 or 5 slash procs on you? 4 procs on you. Okay. 4 procs. Wait for it to run through. It might have been 5 on that prior cast that just seemed to do not what I expected. I just kind of want to repeat that now to make sure I'm not going doolally. 5 procs, okay. Wait for him to nearly bleed out. Things are happening, not sure. What dagger am I using? I'm not. No dagger equipped. And if you want to know why, rewind the stream back to the start and have a look as to what we're actually doing today. Okay, so what the hell is happening here? I'm trying to fit pieces together and so far gears are trying to turn, but they are 3 gears interlocked and they don't turn. That's leading me to all kinds of problems right now. So let's get a recheck on these guys' hit points after taking a hit from this. Because I've got these troopers so nicely set, nearly dead. So this is a 4 proc one, so we should get the same value as we got before. Let me just grab the details back. Yep, so he has nearly died. Let's grab Equinox and test the damage output from that. .862 up the top there. 862 divided by 0.75 is definitely 1149. Okay, so that is consistent. That is consistent. So now I want to get a trooper with a 5 proc situation versus this testing Ash. We'll spawn in a few of them, kill off the ones we don't need. Just makes it quicker. Watch this one be a 5 proc straight away. It's a 5 proc straight away. Okay, sure. Whatever. That happens. Cool. He is within an inch of his life. That is fine. Let's go switch to Equinox and test how many hit points he actually has left. I'm going to need a single target weapon to make sure I don't accidentally damage him. That would be bad. Go to the others. Don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. Cool. How many hit points do you have left, Trooper? 529 divided by 0.75. He had 705. Which would suggest the additional damage he took from that proc, yeah, is 1149 minus 705. He took 444 extra damage. Which is more than the 382 taken by the heavy gunner earlier. Any crit stuff going on? We can't even see through to that level of detail right now. There may be crits going on, and it may be conflating and confusing the information I have here, which is even more frustrating. We can't see it. Just can't see it. I'm trying to think, what can we do to piece these details together to see what the hell is happening here? I think what we need to do is go back to the heavy gunners and just bring in that data once more. Which I think is better, Bursten or Torrid and Carnan? Take your pick. They're two entirely different weapons, and both of them exceptionally powerful for whatever you need. Thanks, Longshot. Where do you like the fashion? Okay. Let's bring in those heavy gunners. 5 of them. Max out the level as before. Here we go. You, 4 procs or 5? 4 proc. Okay. You, 4 or 5 procs? 4. Okay. You, 4 or 5? 4. Okay. You, 4 or 5? Also 4, and you, 4 or 5. Please be a 5. 4. God damn it. Trying to do a thing here. You, 4 or 5. 5. There we go. Okay. So that entire back row are all 4s. This one is a 5. The others don't need to exist. There we are. The extras have been removed. So now let's have a grab of Trinity and see once again what values we get here. Yep, we're on the one that we expected from earlier. So, the first hit on you, is it 16,641? Yes. Very simple stuff. And on you, is it 16,641? Yes. And you? 16,634. Okay. And on you, 16,641. And you, 16,641. So the one in the middle appeared to have taken additional damage at some point. Bear that in mind. And now you, the 5 proc, do you take 16,583? Yes. So that additional damage, whenever it happens, is not often. Out of 1, 2, 3, 18 stabs, it looks like only one of them did it. Okay. And again, backtracking the details there, we've got let's see. It's a difference of just 7, which is not great for avoiding rounding errors, but it's the number we've got. Divide by the 0.151875 gives us a difference in damage of 46. Now, bearing in mind that I don't know if this affected the slash procs or not, I don't actually have any way of verifying where that damage came from. All I know is that it had 46 hit points less. That's all I know. Papa Tim's saying to counter rounding, retest with a few levels lower. Won't make a difference because the amount of damage we're dealing is still the same amount of damage we're dealing. What is the best rifle in endgame? Burst on Incarnate. There you go. What's the difference between using Trinity and Equinox to check leftover health? So you use one or the other, don't get why. So with Trinity, she is best when you're dealing with very large numbers, because Equinox will round, Trinity isn't forced to. Whereas with Equinox, I'll use that one when I've got an enemy with very little health left, because Trinity's equation changes when the enemy is below 25% remaining health. That's what. Has D fixed the Bladestorm interaction with Melee Crescendo yet? Step 1. What's the Bladestorm interaction with Melee Crescendo, please? Which interaction do you think is a bug that needs fixing? Because then I can potentially answer that. Just gonna fire some stress bullets for a moment, don't mind me. Okay. Trinity looks nice. Thank you. She uses the same Oricon palette that I've used on so many of my frames. With, I think a chest piece. Yes. She has a chest piece. Okay. I'm genuinely stuck on this one. Alright, so Melee Crescendo, Ash Clone kills are supposed to count as finishes and proc crescendos increase to total combo. Okay. Doesn't go on this weapon. Oh, it's gonna mess with things. That's fine. Let's grab... What do I just never use? Venato. Okay, that was stupid of me to do that, but whatever. Melee Crescendo. Oh, I'm one away from maxing it out. Are you kidding me? That's a shame. On finish a kill, gain 5 initial combo for the rest of the mission. Kill. I mean, level 1 Butcher should die to an ultimate ability. I think we can all agree on that. Fault. Melee equipped. We are at 30 initial combo. We're at 55. Seems to be working to me. Direct kill stacks, but the DOT does not. Ah, okay. That's not what was said. So, direct kill stacks, DOT does not. Let's verify that for you. And if that's the case, I'm not surprised because the DOT is not a finisher. So we've gone from 35... We're up at 60 now. What were we on before? I didn't think to check. That was smart. We were at 55 before, were we? Okay, so one of them triggered, and the others did not. There we go then. So yeah, it does look like the slash proc won't trigger it, whereas a finisher kill direct will. That's what seems to be going on there. If one had to guess. As for why one of them died, but the rest did not... Timing? That's what we're going to have to look at. I think the animation does affect clone damage. Yeah, there's something affects it, evidently. But we need to piece that together. What exactly? So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up my video editor. And we're going to go back at that recording, because I think I back recorded that in time. Can the alt base damage crit with no indicator? Your ability cannot crit itself. However, there is a shadow hit which may be doing other stuff. So I'm just loading up the editor so I can drag in the back recording. Hopefully I have the full thing there. Looks like I do. So we can have a look at this here. There's where the ability happens. So, focusing in on these guys. I'm going to mute myself in the game there, in the video, because I don't need that. This guy took 3,000. Then this guy, then this guy. Then this guy. Then it's 3,500 over here. And he's taken a slash tick by this point, we see. 3,500 here, 3,500 there, a couple more ticks coming through, tick coming through, tick coming through, 3,500, 3,500, more of those. Oh, this guy's just perished. Looks like to slash proc. Yeah, it does just seem to be a matter of timing, doesn't it? This one on the end died to the proc. This one died to proc. Yep. So it's none of those. I think it was this one on the end. Yeah, this one on the end here. We see the last hit is a full hit. And that's what kills him. So that's what happened there. It was a matter of timing. The shadow clones bouncing around, and it hit them between the slash block ticks and got the kill. Okay, that's why that happened. Nothing too fancy, just sheer timing. Got it. Worth checking these things in case it revealed anything else concerning or confusing. But turns out nothing too crazy. Was a shadow hit mentioned? So, when Ash's Bladestorm hits an enemy, you see the bluish purple damage pop up, the lavender colored damage pop up. That's ability damage, but there is more damage happening than just the ability damage can account for, so there is an extra hit from the shadow clone, which we can't see. So I refer to that as a shadow hit. If we can't see it, it's the shadow clone doing it, not the ability. Shadow hit's the best phrase I can give you right now. Next testing, my pleasure. So, the shadow hit is finished damage. See, there is another problem there. We don't really have an easy way to verify that. We don't really have an easy way to verify it. Yeah. I don't actually have a way to verify that. I think. I might have a couple ideas. Would the shadow hit proc melee crescendo's combo counter? Thus could verify through that. Maybe. Problem is that if I recall correctly, having any melee weapon equipped changes the calculation, which is not great. Dagger with covert lethality versus without. I'm going to say no to that, because if you're saying covert lethality, you're saying, oh yeah, use that to see if it gives you extra damage. We can't see the damage of the shadow hit, so we wouldn't see it to know it. I also want to know if it is a finisher hit, not if it merely gets a bonus from finisher bonuses, because those are two separate things, because DE does not code in a sensible manner for us to understand things. Okay, let's do this. Let a crescendo up onto there. It'll just be present, we can see it, we can work with it. Initial combo at this point should now be none. Yeah, no initial combo. We've got Venato equipped. No other modding. I'm just not going to take suggestions on checking is it a finisher hit one way or another right now, because I'm checking it myself my way, rather than some other random possible idea ways, because we can get more information out of a more resilient test. So, with this, first things first, I want to go back to the level 44 Butcher. Does it still die? And if so, does the 45 still live? So we need to verify we're still working with the same circumstances as before. And when I say die, I mean just the initial hit. Do we get a second hit in? So, 44 still dies to the very first hit. Nothing else happens to it. This one, also, Crescendo did activate. That's good. Okay, that is a thing that happened with the stuff. So that one died straight away to the first hit. Without the weapon, it did not. Okay, I'm going to test this on 5 Butchers. No, 10 Butchers. I want to get a reliable data point here that they always survive the first hit here, if true. Do they always survive the first hit, no melee equipped? No. So we are right on the edge where the critical hit of our fake weapon can screw this up. Assume it's even critical hit rather than just body part changes or animation changes someone else mentioned. Okay. None of those are one-hit kills. No. Nope. Nope. Okay. Pulling him backwards and then shunting him forwards, the butcher that is, killed him in one. That animation was a insta-gib. None of the others seem to be. But there is an animation that's doing it, assuming it's animation based. So what I want to see is, does that animation always one-shot? And do the other animations always never one-shot? Is it a slash status? Slash isn't even having time to tick. It's too quick for that. I barely saw what that type of animation was because I'm too busy answering that shit. Alright. No, not that. No. Okay. I was sworn that animation before wasn't supposed to be a one hit. Maybe it is about crit. Doesn't seem to be linked to animation here, does it? Yeah, no, that one didn't do it before. It's not linked to animation. At least this particular thing isn't linked to animation. And if the animations did have different damage multipliers, with such a slim difference, we'd see it.
Engineer Hopala's great pal. I am curious for Melee Crescendo if finisher ground slams could build up stacks since the arcane doesn't really state what kind of melee finisher.
I'm going to leave that one as an exercise to the viewer, Hellgamer, as it is not what we are testing right now. I imagine they should, melee finishers. I imagine they should, but it's not really what we're testing right now. Thank you very much for the 6-month resub. You got that lovely golden badge. Cheers. Sil, you typoed. You might want to redo that one. You put 20,000. Fingers lipped. It happens. Kirby's saying ground finishers do count. Fair enough. I imagine they would. It was the whole reason that DE unified ground finishers as finishers, because they would work on those things. Yeah, a few people are saying they all count. Alright, cool, cool. Cool. Okay, so what we've just seen is that we can get a variety of damage hits across a threshold point that shows there is more going on than we can really tell, which is not great. I'm going to grab the Venato back. Does this have a similar rate of one-shot to two-shot? Or do we get a different rate? 11? Must have left one alive. One shot. One shot. Okay, this does seem to be a different rate. Yeah, this is definitely a different rate. Oh, I've been so successful, I have gained combo. Of course, crescendo. Whoopsies. Let's fix that real quick. There we go. Yep, combo is gone. Right, back to seeing if we one-shot these. Let's just do that quickly. Yep, 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 yep. Okay. So with the Venato equipped, we are definitely one-shotting. Whereas without the Venato equipped, we occasionally one-shot. Okay. This throws various spanners in the works in terms of getting this information we're looking for here, because it means that there is a critical chance on the shadow hit for an invisible weapon. An invisible weapon that has a different damage value than the Venato, which itself is carrying stats over and is therefore clearly affecting the shadow clones still. Because I recall back when I did the guide on Ash's Bladestorm before Dee's fix, the weapon you chose had a serious impact on the damage you could deal, because that was the weapon that the shadows would use. Is having a melee just changing the damage? Just having a melee is changing the damage, yes. To move that just over, just having it is changing the damage, yes. Am I planning to do a video on this? Technically I already did, and then D broke it, so it's one of those, we'll see. We'll see. If there's something I can make a video on that is worthwhile to talk about, then yes. If not, then no. That's the same with all topics I talk about in Warframe. Raptor say maybe the random one-shot is related to the mystery damage on the 5-proc hits. Related, yes. In a way that we can work with that as a theory, no. Try testing a higher crit and lower crit melee and see if it occurs more depending on the melee CC. It's not to do with CC because this was 100%, whereas the weapon here is 27%. If I landed a 27% crit 11 times in a row, what's the chance of that? Let's have a look here. 0.27 to the 11. A 1 in, just nearly 2 million chance. So that didn't happen. I am pretty safe in saying that didn't happen. It wasn't a matter of crit, it was a matter of base damage. Do I have a really shoddy weapon with absolutely terrible damage? What's the worst melee I have? I mean abysmal melee. I'm gonna have to check the weapon comparison table for this one. Weapon comparison. Yo! What's that? Hey! Mirrorlabe! Thank you very much for the 10 gifted subs out to community there. It's very generous of you. And that's gone out to Jayal, to Big JZX, to Dammit Amelia, damn it indeed, to Cluda, to Shining Fatalis, to Robbie the Ramjet, to Solopus, to Zach, to Wax Leftpaw, and to Vince Phoenix. Mirrorlabe, thank you once again for the massive amount of support. Cheers indeed. Cheers indeed on that. One more for the summer bonus. Yes indeed, we are one away from the summer bonus. This stream's sub-goal summer bonus is right around the corner. So y'all will definitely want to stick around for that. Also, Mirrorlabe, that is a new badge next to your name now. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Nope. Mirrorlabe, not wanting to wait for someone else to subscribe of their own accord, has decided we're hitting the summer bonus now. Thank you very much, Mirrorlabe, for sending that gift sub over to Void Tear 1 as well. Thank you very much, Mirrorlabe. Cheers indeed. And that does mean we're going to roll a summer bonus. This means that one random person in this chat is going to be called out by the bot, and that random person is going to have earned a random Prime Warframe. Any tradable Prime Warframe is in that listing. We've had Mag Prime before, and we've had Nova Prime. I have no idea which Prime it's going to be this time. It may even be one of those two. It is entirely random. But I'm going to be drawing that in just a second here. To type up the command. Let's see who is going to win it. And if you are the winner, you just have to respond to me. I say respond to me. Send me a Twitch DM with your Warframe username and platform within 24 hours. Ad break? Okay, we'll wait for the ad break so people can actually hear me. We'll wait for the ad break to make sure everyone can hear this. And you don't need a ticket for this. Ticket is for the raffle. That's something else that's different. That's for the raffle. Alright, whilst we wait for the ad break to go, I'll just quickly check the melee weapons, see what's the absolute worst one I own in terms of base damage, normal damage. Let's have a look here. Normal attack. It looks like the absolute worst in the world is the Kestrel, which I don't have. The next is the Mark 1 bow, which I now own. There we go. I have the worst melee weapon in the game for this. There we are. Okay. Right, everyone should be back from the ads now. Everyone should be back from the ads now. Yep, looks like that's all gone through. So, now let's do the draw. The Hype 5 draw to see who is going to get the summer bonus. It is... Zark. Z-H-A-I-R-Q. Zark has just won a Cora Prime set. Zark, all I needed to do there is to send me a message here as a Twitch DM, so it needs to be in the DMs. Mine are open for that exact purpose. Send me a message to confirm your Warframe username, platform, and we'll get that sorted out for you. You've got yourself a Cora Prime. We'll trade that over after the stream ends. I'm not going to do it during the stream. We don't want to break away from stuff right now. It's probably not even on this account. But we'll get that to you. Bro? You know what? I never successfully understood what bro is supposed to mean. People say it for everything. I'm just going to assume it's the equivalent of dude for Gen Z. Alright. Back to this. 10 butchers, Mark 1 bow, no modding on the bow because they literally just purchased it. Does it one-shot them all? Yes. Yes. No. 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 Yes. No. 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 Okay. Look at top right, looks like I have a combo bonus. Looks like I don't. Says I do, but I don't. That's a good old simulacrum overlay bug. Alright. Is it the type of weapon that affects it? I'm going to leave that one to your own research, Giga Beavers. I'm not about to test every single melee weapon in the game to see if there is some slight variety there, when I think that damage is more likely to be it. So with our 90 here, that wasn't one tapping them all the time, whereas the Venato's 220 was. If I take something a little bit more mid-ground, say I take the Cadus here, 130, I want to go a bit higher, 178 Fang Prime, that should do the trick. I know you mean the weapon types, I'm still not testing every type of weapon. Giga Beavers, I want you to imagine how many types of weapons there are, now imagine how many times I'm going to need to test to try and answer your question. Think it through. Just how much are you suggesting I do there? When I have no way to reliably verify the information I'm even receiving. That's why I'm not going to do that, because if that is the particular one, then everyone can go home now, Ash is broken and D need to try again. Let's pray that the weapon category is not in fact the one. Instant, you know what? Instant, 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 instant. Those all seem to be instant. Just to re-verify, I'm going to do that a little bit more carefully. Yup. 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 And... yup. Okay. Instant or damn near close enough. Like, it's happening. 10 out of 10 there. Okay. So this is giving a very strong suggestion that the weapon's base damage is indeed what's happening here. If we grab the Cadus, drop ourselves to that mid-ground, drop to no modding. Do we get any... and there we're starting to see 2 taps again. So far, half of them have been a 2-tap. Still half. That's interesting. It looks like he dies to something between the animation. It looks like it gets a second hit in, but then doesn't show a number. Might have found a very interesting alternative threshold here. If I do this one by one, is it always a 2-hit? Interesting. Interesting. No. Okay, not always a 2-hit. I was saying, could the damage number appearing be distinct from the actual damage being applied? That honestly would be a first. If you damage an enemy with something that should give a damage number, you see the damage number. I have no instances of that not being the case, as far as I ever recall. Really, thank you very much for gifting us up over to Snake Ray 47. Snake, make sure you say thanks for that. Really's been very generous, directly gifting you that one. Oh. Cheers. As I was saying, I know this sounds insane, here we go, but is range of the weapon causing attacks to the front to give extra hits to the behind person? No. No, it isn't. 463 total gift subs. Yeah, Mirrorlab has been absolutely legendary with their support on this channel. Legendary. Okay. There is some wobbliness and non-consistent stuff that I can't see and can't verify here, but if I had to guess, it does come down to crit chance. It seems about the only reasonable answer I can give on this. It comes down to that crit chance, and when it crits, we get enough damage to push it into one-shot territory, otherwise it'll be a two-shot weapon. That seems to be what's happening here. I don't know if I can have a weapon with a low enough crit chance and low enough damage to really get any further on that. I mean, Mark 1 bow is at 10%. Is there lower than that we can get? Let's have a look here. In the really weak weapon category, I'm looking around my microphone here. I just don't have crit chances that low. Let's see, I got 5% from Silver and Aegis. Or Aegis, I should say. 5% from Lecter. 5% from Dual Scanner. 5% from just normal Scanner. Well, that's not helpful. Nope. This is very lame, don't get any ideas. Nope, okay. % Jaw Sword. But that's 8%. That's barely distinguishable from 10 at this point. And then we get into too much damage. Doesn't Heat Dagger have 5% crit? Heat Dagger 14% and also much higher damage. Fair enough, Mirrorlab. Fair enough. No, I'll drop that idea right now. I'll drop that for this one. Lacera. Lacera is 5% crit and also much higher damage, so we don't need to worry about the crit anymore. It'll just kill them. So yeah, we don't have it. We don't have it. Okay, cool. Not to worry. Not to worry, it's not that much of an important one, but from what I've seen, it does seem to be that crit is here. Anything you have CC room for? So that will be going into modding flow, and that is its entire own beast. We were looking at the base weapon so far, trying to figure out the base bits we're working from to then expand into mods from there. Yeah. I'm not about to craft an entire Zor. You might notice that I have only so many hours in this stream. Right, mark on melees. Guys. I love all the suggestions. I need you to remember I do have access to a second tab here. I've just gone through the weapon comparison table on the wiki, going through the low damage melees from bottom upwards whilst looking through their crit chances. I appreciate you trying to name weapons, but I've just gone through the list. You can stop now. Okay. Given that we have such a pitiful starting point for testing, and it is genuinely pitiful that we don't have even close to half the information I would like, this is not a good spot to be in. This is really not a good spot to be in. Previously I tested with a trooper. I didn't put down what level they were. What were they? Trooper level 84 we tested with no melee equipped. So if I go back to that Venato with nothing on it, does this then kill the level 84 trooper? On a butcher, it might be a difference of a few hit points, but on these troopers, we were registering that with 4 slash procs, they would survive with about 1,000 health left. We've run them all through now. 4 procs, 4 procs, 3, 3, 7! Seven slash procs. Mark 2, Mark 3. Weapon status chance, weapon status chance, weapon status chance. Where's the other one coming from? It's a Venato. It doesn't have that many slash procs. Manta, thank you very much for the gifted sub. Is that a tier 2 sub? Oh wow. Manta's gifted a tier 2 sub to Krovus. Krovus, make sure you say thanks to Manta for that one. That's exceptionally generous. Cheers, my dude. Oh. Thank you very, very much on that. Okay, so these guys with the 3 procs survived. The 4 procs died, which previously they definitely weren't. And then we had a guy that took 7 procs because I seem to remember 7 procs happening during the original video. Did I have an answer for it during the original video? I actually need to go back to my original video. I am so utterly and completely lost on this. This is too wild. I'm going to go to my videos, I'm going to find the Ash one and see what the hell happened there. Ash has been holding out on us. Yep, hold up a second, me. Hold up. I want everyone to be able to appreciate this. So let me just get it all the way up onto the screen with this. Well, at least me, and probably anyone else who trusted Warframe to show you the damage you're dealing. See, here we have an Ash with no mods equipped on neither him nor his melee weapon. And here we have an Ash with some mods equipped on his weapon, but otherwise no changes. When the unmodded Ash hits an enemy with Bladestorm, they take 2,000 damage and a slash proc 3 times over, and 7 procs. A bit. 7 procs did happen then. Okay. So how? What caused the 7? Why were there sometimes 7? We go through the intro. Do I have a bit where I explain about why 7 procs?
Provided statistic guidance. I've observed the damage numbers that pop up and used those numbers to inform my suggestions. I'm
Have very
also
nice,
not alone
dude.
in this.
Get to it.
Others have read the ability card, seen what Ash's damage numbers are, and come to the same conclusion. Even the Warframe wiki at the time of writing, recently recognised as the official Warframe wiki by the way, so congratulations on that, has apparently been bamboozled given it's missing half of the ability. Arguably, the stronger half. Now, I've not gone diving into other sources to see how long Ash has been like this, mostly so we can keep the history brief and instead look at the present. Ash's Bladestorm ability says it will project fierce shadow clones of Ash upon groups of distant enemies. Then the ability card goes on to indicate the slash damage. When activated, you enter into shadow mode, which allows you to mark enemies simply by looking directly at them and always applying 3 marks. At any point, you can activate shadow mode by recasting the ability to unleash your shadow clones on the marks. If an enemy should leave your range while the shadow mode is active, that enemy will lose its marks and refund you the energy cost. Each strike by a shadow clone will remove 1 mark and deal damage as shown on the ability card. This damage bypasses armor and applies a slash proc too. Unlike slash procs from other Warframes, all of Ash's slash procs deal 25% more damage and last 50% longer, making them far more punishing. The shadow clones will leap from enemy to enemy, mark to mark, carrying out attack upon attack until all marks are used up or all marked enemies are dead. You will see the slash procs continue to tick on surviving enemies for the full duration. That is the whole extent of the visible portion of Bladestorm. You can improve the attack speed of the clones with unconditional attack speed modifiers to your melee like Prime Fury, and you can increase the damage with the Steel Charge aura, as well as a select few other things like stacking combo. On your melee itself though, it would seem from the damage numbers that nothing else really matters. Prime Pressure Point, critical mods, elemental mods, even Finishing Touch all seem to have no effect on Bladestorm's damage. As far as Bladestorm, the ability is concerned, this is true. However, the Shadow Clones Ash summons are no mere holographic projections. They are more like Wukong's Wuclone, a wholly separate entity summoned by Ash and using Ash's melee weapon.
And this is why we can't see some of the damage.
Ability damage, consuming a mark, the Shadow Clone may also perform a Shadow Finisher. This Shadow Finisher seems to be connected to the animation chosen at random, or otherwise it's just inconsistent, as it may apply 1 Shadow Finisher, 2 Shadow Finishers, or occasionally no Shadow Finisher.
Oh! Oh! That's what it was! Oh! Son of a... Okay. Roll it back. Roll it back. Okay. How can you see the damage applied by clones like Wukong? You can't. That's the point. How did we get 7? Squirbo. 7 slash blocks. Ability, ability, ability. Shadow applies once, and then Shadow decided to do 2 finishers, giving us 7. Which means all the times I've been getting 4 and 5, it's not status chance. It's been rolling 0 and 1 finishers most of this time. Right? Let's hear some more from me. Past me spent a lot of time researching this. I'm going to listen to more what I got to say.
Tool. I'm being very specific in my terminology here, to separate it from the ability damage, which, among other things, always hits once per mark unless dispelled. The Shadow Finisher performed by the Shadow Clone is considered stealthy, therefore getting a stealth damage bonus according to your melee weapon's level. It doesn't, however, gain any additional multipliers from stealth finisher modifiers. Each hit will use your weapon's damage and damage mods including Condition Overload, half the bonus of your elemental mods as standard for finishers, finisher bonuses like Finishing Touch, and can roll critical chance based on your modded weapon stats too. Critical hits are additive to the stealth damage bonus. If you have a fully ranked melee weapon for an 8 times stealth damage bonus, a 3 times critical damage bonus, and land an orange crit, you'll get a total of 12 times damage. For this reason, critical hits aren't that useful on Ash, as you can mod for other benefits instead. On top of using your weapon stats, the Shadow Finisher will also apply a forced slash proc, regardless of the...
I didn't used to speak so fast. I've got it set to 1.5 times speed, AI Master, because I don't need it to be running at the speed designed to be listened to by people who are less familiar with the topic, or, okay, you're just joking. Okay, fine. Thanks for wasting the stream with your messing around. You know what you get for that? 10-second timeout. 10 seconds. Think about what you just did.
The weapon being used. The trick behind all this is that as the Shadow Finisher is being delivered by a companion, you don't get to see the damage numbers from the attack, nor ongoing status effects it applies. The Shadow Finisher hits almost, but not quite, simultaneously with the Bladestorm ability, giving you anywhere from 1 to 3 slash procs with each mark. This is why you can see a variation in the slash proc.
Sorry?
Damage numbers from the attack, nor ongoing status effects it applies. The Shadow Finisher hits almost, but not quite, simultaneously with the Bladestorm ability, giving you anywhere from 1 to 3 slash procs with each mark. This is why you can see a variation in the slash procs, yet only ever see 3 ticks of damage at once. The rest is neither bugged nor rolling a status chance, but instead entirely down to the shadow finishers landing 0, 1, or 2 times each. And this rabbit hole goes deeper, as the shadow finishers are delivered by companions holding copies of.
Let's just go back to speed. Oops. Not that. Playback speed again.
Your weapon, not a pseudo exalted ability. They get no scaling from your combo multiplier, nor your strength stat. They also get no scaling from raw, nor do they benefit from eclipse. On the flip side, the debuff from the extinguished dragon key also seems to have no effect on the shadow finishers, only the ability damage. So you can skip combo.
I really did test everything.
You can drop yourself down to just 10% strength and still deliver a strong direct hit with your clone's shadow finishers by having an appropriately modded melee weapon. I would like to think that one-shotting a level 190 Exo Goksat officer so hard that you don't even get a damage number to pop up can be considered strong, but I'm sure so.
That's important. That is important. One shot them so hard we don't even see a damage number pop up, which means that the shadow hit happens before the ability hit. That is important to note as well. That is consistent with something that we witnessed earlier, where some enemies seem to be dying during an animation without a number popping up, because it was the shadow clone. Okay, cool. I'm glad that a lot of things are still the same as they were before, but my god, why is it every ability needs to be teased apart to figure out everything that's going on? Why? Wouldn't we be able to see them die with no numbers at all? I mean, that's exactly what happened in the video clip here. Do you want me to repeat?
One-shotting a level 190 Exo Goksat officer so hard that you don't even get a damage number to pop up can be considered strong, but I'm sure.
Yeah. Straight up. Gods. So can we get up to 9 on a really high shadow, high roll shadow clone? I guess. I had a clip of 8, which would suggest to me that 8 is likely the highest we're going to see in a reasonable amount of time, but I guess it could go that far. Okay. Let's have a look then. So, let's just do a whole bunch of them. Strong enough to survive. Just see if that happens. Chances are very low, but let's see. 4, 4, 3, 3, 8! 4, 4, 3, 3 again, and then 8 over here. Hold up. This is getting weirder. Manta, thank you very much for the 2 tier 2 gifted subs. This time going out to All Hail King Julian and to Jarius the Virus PSV. Manta, thank you very much for the double tier 2 gifted sub there. Let's go with the previous one just moments ago. Cheers. Oh, thank you very, very much on that. Cos say, are you making a new Ash guide or is this just testing? This is testing. I may make an Ash guide, but so far this is testing. To be quite honest with you, I might not make a video on it, given that. Now there's 8, not just 7. Well, it's random chance. It's just the fact that it rolled it on this one. And again, we got 4, 4, 3, 3, and then Hyproc is concerning. Because what's the chance that we roll that pattern? What is the chance that we roll that as a pattern? Four, 4, 3, 3, 6. No. 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 Am I okay? I'm not okay now. This is deterministic RNG. This was an episode of Doctor Who. This genuinely was an episode of Doctor Who. Don't do this to me. Four, 4, 3, 6, 3. Okay. Whew. All right. It changed. Didn't change much, but it changed. That's all we needed. Change. That's done. Good to know. Swing it this way, someone suggested. Four, 3, 6. What? What have I found here? What have I found here? Okay. How about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Four, 3, 6. Okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, no, Try more or less enemies, see if it changes it. Oh, it definitely changes it. It definitely changes it, but more to the point is the fact that it could exist in the first place. So if you do just 4 of them, I'm going to need new enemies. These ones will die. Does it seem like I can do something weird with RNG? I would hope not. Try with none of them dying? None of them died. So I don't even know what you're saying, Spaz. Okay, just 4 targeted, which should change how quickly they get slashed and who gets slashed by what. 7, 5, 3, 3. Which is kind of wild. Does Ash 4 no longer need stat stick? I mean, it never needed one, but one makes them stronger. But, you know what, Carter, there's just so much to unpack with that one. Sit back, relax, and watch the stream. Yeah. Eight, 4, 3, 3. Yeah, that's... There is some determinism going on here. There is some determinism going on. Why can't D just code an ability that just does stuff? What? Surely it takes more effort to introduce these weird interactions than it does to just make an ability. Did it be out of a job? I've got plenty to talk about in this game. It's just... You can see why I've been putting this one off. Warframe's go fuck you, Wookie. I mean, it's bad enough. All the investigation into Vault. Which, for those of you who missed the details on Wednesday, the video will be out tomorrow. You'll have that to look forward to. But now this? Engineer will say, I feel like I did it this way because it's easier, seeing how weird is the engine. I mean, some things just don't need to be up to chance. I want to walk you through just how weird this weird is, Engineer 1. We have an ability here that says it will mark the enemies and then deal damage to them with slash proc. The damage is a finish damage, so it's an ability finisher, not a melee finisher. But it does trigger various melee things like melee crescendo. But it has an extra hidden series of damages in there from the shadow clones. Those hidden series of damages will have a weapon generated for them if you don't have your own equipped. Otherwise, it'll use your melee weapon, and some of the mods for it interacting in a specific and hard to see way because it's hiding the damage from you. But we have also now discovered that the way that it decides when to apply which shadow hits is deterministic, not random, despite the fact that it is not uniform neither. If I join in with the shadows, I'm not even going to start on that one. That'll just hurt me. So my point is that we have something here which is not only pseudo-exalted, but it is also using fake random to determine how much damage the ability does. Yeah, as Raptor puts it, glad D decided to simplify their stealth murder frame when they did Varuna. Is it different if you join the Bladestorm? Oh my god, I'm not going to get you guys to shut up about this one, am I? Okay. Never mind the fact that it's irrelevant and probably hard to process. Do you join the Bladestorm? Didn't even do it right. Alright, I stabbed them. I'm stuck now. Too late to see the procs. Actually too late because I got stuck in bloody terrain. Let me out. 4, 4, 5, 4, 3. Something went on there. Is Bladestorm still pseudo at all? Yes. Because equipping a melee weapon and changing the melee weapon I had equipped changed the amount of damage I was dealing to the enemies. So yes, it is still pseudo exalted. To what extent is part of the attempt of investigating this, it's still not working. Okay. We have this. We have this. Well, it didn't one-shot her. Did a hell of a lot of damage, but didn't one-shot. Some of them are getting tapped before the ability reaches them. I'm not even sure what I'm looking for with this ability anymore. I'm genuinely not even sure. We did a lot of damage there. How much was it in the original video? And what was I against? Was it against an extra Gokstat or something else? Hydrate. Cheers, Crescendo. Let me just grab that link again.
Ash has been holding out on us.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Shh. Just me. Still switching screens around.
Me, and probably anyone else who trusted Warframe to show you the damage you're dealing. See, and a slash proc with each hit, and proceeds to die very quickly. Like, also not alone in this. Others have read the ability, always applying 3 marks.
Yeah, when we one-shotted something
you may
so hard,
deactivate Shadow Mode by
just
surviving
evaporated.
enemies for the full duration. That is the whole extent of the visible portion of Bladestorm. You can improve the attack speed of the clones with unconditional
Where was
attack
it?
speed mod, nor rolling a status chance but instead entirely down to the shadow finish. I would like to think that one-shotting a level 190 Exo Goksat officer so hard that...
Level 190, okay. Ah, this was pre-Steel Path as a modifier. That's why. Okay. Or maybe why. That may be why. Wait, give me Warframe. Oh, I didn't have that on. Was it the hit point changes? Let me grab my hit point changes calculator. New enemy armor, Google Sheets. Is this the one I was looking for? Nope, nope, nope. I wanted the calculator, not this testing data. Back to Sheets. 2024 enemy level scaling .patreon, because it's available on Patreon. Let's see, core comparison sheet. Right then, Exo Gokstad Officer, where they now hide the base stats. It's so dumb. Okay, wiki, please confirm they're still 1,000 at base level. Yes, they are. Good. Base level is 8. I don't think that has changed. Let me just run those numbers through on the spreadsheet. Oops. Yeah. Okay, at level 190, Steel Path, no. The health is 213% higher? Oh, damn! Damn! And the armor difference, armor is now... providing 1/7 of the protection, increasing damage taken by 600%, which means that the EHP is down 56%, but the health is up 213%. Okay. Okay, that is a spicy amount of difference there. Based on what's true damage? Yeah. So I'm pointing out that the EHP has gone down, but the HP has gone up. And because this is finished damage, that means we are worse off. It's a whole thing, yeah. Yeah, we see the single hit on this one, without having 3 times its health, would have killed it. And some of them died, some of them didn't. You can really see the difference between those that got hit by extra shadow hits and those that did not. So that is still happening. And by quite a difference. Look at the sheer damage difference here. This one is nearly dead, others are completely dead, and others are about half health. Is it me, or is this still ignoring the health scaling working? What level Gokstad am I going to need to get the same hit points as they had in that initial video? Let me have a look. So, according to my information here, in the initial video they had 145,797.8 health. So if I just do a little bit of dancing around the numbers here, let's see if I can find that. 145,797, 145-ish. Oh god, I've got to go low level for this. 145-ish. I can get 141 at level 80. Christ. Level 80. where previously it was level 190. 110 levels lower to get closest as I can to the same hit points. Where to find all this after Jade Shadows? Head on over to the Drifter camp on Earth. Does Warframe actually use decimal values for health? Yes. And for damage. It just doesn't show you. I mean, it may be me, but it looked like that first one actually did go without a damage number. That one did not. Let me spawn in a whole bunch of these. It'll be easier. Still landing the damage numbers at the moment. Oh, I didn't see a damage number on that one. Or that one. Yep, there we are. There it is. Okay, so wait. Quick question then. What did DE change? Aside from the hit points gain, what did they change about Ash? The hit point scaling is a huge, huge nerf to him. I cannot overstate how much of a nerf it is. But what did they actually change about Ash? Can clones proc condition overload if it's a quick on the stat stick? What do you mean proc? Condition overload is not a mod that gets procced. Shadows can't crit now. And Gigabeavers, on what do you base that? You say you think it, so I'm assuming you have some reason to think it. So what do you base that on? Also, I noticed that this was never set up to crit. Because, as I recommended in the video guide, critting doesn't matter if you can use the stealth finisher bonus anyway. Was I disabling the stealth finisher bonus by activating the panel here? I might have been. Can I get this even more reliable? Oops, forgot to use silence. Silence is a really, really, really big part of the damage. My bad. Whoopsies. When you tested last... Oh, hold on. When you tested last, your mods didn't work? I mean, Define didn't work. Hard to really put together what I'm seeing here. Merlin saying, try it against Grove Spectres, minimize wobble from procs. Mods have no effect as far as you can tell. Try mod it in a dem first is fully modded. Okay. Alright, let's put this together. So you think that this here, where they die to basically the first stab, you think this is not as a result of modding on the inner dam? Where that one actually just died instantly. I didn't even get the ability damage to show. They died that quickly. And that one. And that one. But not that one. You think that's not as a result of modding on the inner dam? Maybe you're right. I have... Oh, hang on. Yeah, I'll fix that build rather than break it for this. Let's grab a unmodded setup. Simulate our enemies. Activate abilities. 3 ability hits. 3 ability hits, still not dead. Has to die to slash proc. 3 ability hits, has to die to slash proc. Does anyone here want to suggest that that one hit wasn't in fact killing? Does anyone here want to suggest that the modding is having no impact? Because I'm seeing something entirely different. I'm seeing that they're taking 3 ability hits now and sometimes still having to burn out to slash procs. Hey, fair do, Ray. Hope you have a good cruise. We compare it with this. Also, I've got Smite Orokin, which is the wrong Smite. I wonder if I switch to that, will they die even more reliably? Will they die even more reliably? Let's see. I mean, so far, not getting any ability damage number to show up. Not even once. Not even once in 10 of them. In fact, I'm going to do a sweep across. There we go. So when we get slightly different ways of handling the shadow hits, then we see ability damage. Which, as we demonstrated earlier, is due to different deterministic stuff going on. Whew. Okay. Vogic is we're back in the wiki patch history. There's no documented change for Bladestorm except making it where it applies max stacks on targets instead of needing to jiggle your mouse for it. There was definitely a patch note. And then I had people repeatedly complaining about it not working. In fact, do I have it noted on the video when that patch happened? Not on the video description. Did I put it in the comments? Pinned. As of the Abyss of Dagath update, this no longer appears to work. The melee equip you does not get used by the shadow clones, though your combo does still boost the damage. Right, so Abyss of Dagath update. Let's have a look at the updates. Abyss of Dagath. Which came with update 34.0. Patch notes. Control F. Ash. Okay, I'm just Control F-ing Crash, apparently. Let's see. Nope. Bladestorm? Oh, also no. Hold on, but I put as of Abyss of Dagath. That is the Abyss of Dagath update. Hold up. Screen's around. Just so I don't blind y'all. Oh, 3604. I was looking at... Wait, I was looking at 34.0. Let's see. Fix Ash Bladestorm, not trigger arcanes with the unfinished or kill condition. No, those aren't the ones. No. There's something in Abyss of Dagath. Because I noted in the video comments very specifically, as of the Abyss of Dagath update, this no longer appears to work. That was posted 9 months ago. Can I get the exact timestamp? Oh, I hate it when things put X months ago, but they don't give you the date of a comment. If someone screenshots a comment and it says 1 month ago, you never know when it actually happened. Just as 1 month prior to the person screenshotting it. Ugh. Why must everything be so useless to me? Okay. Scrolling. Market bundles, things you can buy, skins, yada yada, system changes, Warframe shields, reworking of shield gating. There was definitely a thing, and I commented that there was this update, so I'm seeing if it was in here. It might be in a hotfix shortly after, but I'm going to check. Arcane Trickery definitely does trigger, because we saw it happen during my testing just now. Yeah, none of that is particularly relevant. Ah, so this is when they did the Vitality and other mod changes. That was such a necessary change. That was so necessary. Warframe set changes, Warframe mod changes, Necmech, Arcwing. Yeah, none of that's important to us right now. Nightwave. More Nightwave stuff. Carl. When was the last time I did a Carl mission, eh? Hello, Moon. Oh, Garrison. Archon Hunt damage attenuation changes. Rest in peace, one shot. Rest in peace, that. New player path improvements. Various mods have their drain reduced. Redirection actually coming in line with Vitality. Good stuff. Mark on weapons being removed from new player experience. Weird, quite honestly. I still don't know why they did that. They say why they do it, and I still don't understand why. But that's relevant right now. Wave Rider quest improvements. Reducing the length of the quest down by 40%. People still complain. Vox Solaris changes. People still struggle. Yeah. Various quests. Ambulus. God damn, was that a change that was needed? Cetus Wiz. Void Ring crafting costs have been updated to require Cambion Drift resources only. So, about that... Anyway, Necromech components to Lloyd Store, that's now also moved. Character highlighting system, that came in with a bit of a gap. My god, it's been a while. Icons on the map, trails, start points, following tracks, is all conservation. Auto melee was then. New update history screen, yeah, we'll just use the wiki. Just realised you guys are in this. Flashbang. Sorry, I realised you guys weren't looking. I'm taking longer to go through this than I intended. So, other UI HUD additions and changes. It's not important. Companion rework phase 1. Good God, this was one hell of an update. Hydroid rework. Holy dooly, this update just kept on going. DualShock 4 and DualSense controller support for PC. I mean, I can see why I scrolled past that previously, but sure, fair enough. Explosive barrel changes. Ground finishers became proper finishers. Okay, if we're talking about finisher stuff, we might be in the bit where Ash comes up. Okay, not seeing it. Silly change to faction mods, I still disagree with it. Top fixes. God, there's so much in here. I mean, it's a good thing, but That's Ash Shurikens, nothing to do with what we're looking at. I tried Control F, didn't find what I was looking for, but I'm just combing through this. It's going to be one of the hotfixes, isn't it? This is why usually when I put a comment saying something changed, I'll put the exact update number because of trying to search like this. None of that seems to be it. It's clippings. Fix being unable to donate Acolyte dongles to clan dojos. Okay. How? Still not finding what I'm looking for. Come on. Yeah, I tried searching for both Blade and Ash and didn't get what I was looking for. Ash got me a lot of Crash, which is not great either. Theme fixes. Okay, right. Not in there, so I'm going to quickly check the hotfix listings. Oh god, we're going to have to go up a bit. More. More. Here we go. Quick check these hotfixes. Changes. Miss note. Let's just expand a few of these. Expand. All the business gaff stuff. And now, Control F, Ash. Every day I feel gaslit more by the one. I've put the note in the comments that this changed. Where is the patch note? I specifically put the comment saying that it happened. Where is it? I'll use a space before typing Ash, in case it isn't preceded by a space necessarily. Because it could be a new line character. Right. I'm going to the goddamn forum post. Stop. Gib. Load everything in. Just make sure it's fully loaded. Cool. There's some spoiler formatting that might hide what I'm looking for. Fingers crossed it doesn't do that. God, those are some patch notes. Control F, Ash. Let's try the whole Ash space. Nope. Bladestorm. Nope. Yeah. I know that 3601 has a script error, but I specifically noted in my comment on a video about this exact ability that as of the Abyss of Dagath update, this no longer appears to work. I do note that I said that it no longer appears to work, so it is possible that it broke before that. But that was the first moment I could say people are saying it's not working, so it's not working. Yeah, I got no idea then. Maybe D didn't even notice it. Maybe they... Sorry, not notice. Maybe D didn't even announce it. Christ. Way to make this easy. Okay. In which case, not knowing exactly what changed when, or anything really to go off, and the fact that this now here appears to work on enemies with the same hit points as the ones demonstrated in the video, I'm going to chalk this up to actually still working, or at least is working once again. Because, I mean, look at this. Death. 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 What kind? Instant. I can probably switch this out to more ordinary units if we go for some troopers. Let's see. What hit points do they have at Steel Path 195? Just so I don't make a fool of myself with this. A lot. A hell of a lot. But hopefully not too much. Oh, that was Steel Path 80. My bad. I mean, I have painted every single one of them that I can paint. They are all marked. Let's see. I'm seeing some damage numbers. Some of them are taking damage numbers, some of them are just dying outright. Incidentally, the ones which are not dying outright don't seem to have lots of slash blocks on them. Because of the 0 possibility for Shadow Clone woo-wah. If I do them one at a time, ish, they just perish. In fact, can I see the slash blocks on this one? Yeah, 1 slash block, 2 slash, 3 slash. This one never got hit by a Shadow Clone. Never. This one entirely only took ability damage there, as given by the fact that he only got 3 slash blocks on him. Whereas this one will just Silence ran out. This one will instantly die, as will this one. That one died a little bit later, once the Shadow Clone actually hit it. But again, we see 1 slash proc, 2 slash proc, and then death when the Shadow Clone actually hit it. Okay. Ackerman say, I wonder if anyone at D watched these in their own downtime to see how their ownership works. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised, because the number of times I've reported something in a video or called it out on a stream, and then it's followed up with a change not long later. So, yeah, D actually are here. Maybe not right now, maybe not this second, and they sure are likely not going to announce that they're here. But they're here. You never know when, you never know where, but they are here. I do recall very nicely one time before now, when I was on a bit of complaining about certain weapons being overly obnoxious when wielded by players. It was creating just horrendous visual noise, even when you weren't trying to make it terrible. And he not only asked for indications of which weapons were the problems. Miralabe, thank you for gifting a sub over to Warframe themselves. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Thank you, Miralabe. Oh. Cheers for that. Let me see, how many times has Warframe been gifted a sub now? That is 9 times. Okay. Wow. Yes. Yes, pause, Mirza. That's tomorrow.
The Kengineer! Oh my god! Wait, are they here? Kengineer.
Thanks, Crescendo. Yeah, when I went through the different weapons which were causing all kinds of visual noise, even if you had reduced teammate visual effects, a member of D went through on the Warframe official account and clipped each of those ones, naming the clips those weapons, and sure enough, some of those weapons later got a pass to reduce the visual effects. So they are here, they are listening, they are taking into account what it is I have to say when it comes to things which are breaking the game or otherwise ruining your ability to enjoy it. They're not here all the time, but they are sometimes just here, wanting to see how their game's taken, because they care. That's just a fact, they care. Sorry if it's answered. Do we know if weapons still affect Bladestorm? 100% yes, they definitely affect Bladestorm. In fact, let me give you the clearest verification you could ever possibly have of this. I'm going to spawn in 2 troopers at the same time, okay? So we got 2 troopers here, exact same unit. You see this one? Gonna hit silence. Bladestorm, zap, he's dead. Pretty clear indication that that guy died instantly, right? We didn't even see the damage number. So now I'm going to take away my inner 10. Okay. I'm going to go up to this guy now. Same unit. Silence. Bladestorm. Didn't instantly die. Didn't instantly die. So it is the modding, it is the weapon, it is its innate stats, specifically with regards to damage. The weapon you equip and the mods you apply, the Incarnate perks, all of that matters. And as far as I can tell, it matters in exactly the way that I called out in my video on it originally. You won't get the one shot that I demonstrated in the video on the level 190 Heavy Gunner, sorry, Exo Gokstad, because they changed the hit points of that unit. But otherwise, it seems to be working, yeah. Yeah, Free Boy, I remember that as well. I remember that call out. Actually, was that... That might have been the same stream that the OMG, the Kengineer soundbite comes from. That might be the same stream. Anyway. What if you hit 4 at the same time with Bladestorm? Okay, you missed a word there. I'm going to guess you mean 4 enemies at the same time with Bladestorm. I'm going to guess you mean that. Manta, thank you very much for gifting a tier 2 sub over to the Engineer 1. And that was a direct gift right there. So, the Engineer 1, make sure you thank him for that. It's very generous. Yeah. Cheers indeed. Also, I realised to turn off the music earlier. Let's get that back on. Let's go for... Let's try and chill me out a little bit. Even with this heat. And... it crashed. There we go. Okay, it was trying to crash. Is it working? There it is. It's very quiet, this one. There we are. Okay. So, 4 at the same time with Bladestorm. This does impact the effectiveness, because how the Shadow Clones attack is somewhat deterministic. How it's determined, I don't really know. But it is deterministic in some way, at least demonstrated in the Simulacrum. Whether that is a Simulacrum thing, I don't know. It could be that D has set up some kind of fixed table for either the ability or Simulacrum. I'd be very surprised if they did, because that's just extra programming effort that doesn't need to exist. So I don't think it is Simulacrum specific. Why go to that effort to make it different? But it is possible. And unfortunately, testing that outside of Sim is not going to be the easiest. Not going to be the easiest. Is it always the last one that takes the most damage? No. That was only when we did a group of 5. We then had a... I think it was 4-4-3-3 high. High just being the one that took a lot. If I de-equip Inadem real quick. And give ourselves a whole bunch of troopers. I'm not going to use silence this time. I'm just going to go you, swing, and let's see what hits. That's 4, 4, 3, 3, and high at this point 6. So that is exactly what I was calling out before. Also, we're doing a hell of a lot of damage to these guys. These are level 195 troopers, which just goes to show how tough it is to demonstrate this. Because they take a lot of damage. Ash does not mess around. Because this isn't exactly a highly invested build here. I've got 1 former, and part of that is to equip bloody preparation of all things. I've got rolling guard, prime flow. Yeah, this doesn't exactly strike as a overly invested build, does it? It's just the Savage Silence, the 185 strength, and then Ash being Ash with steel charge, yeah. But the fact that it's going at 4-4-3-3 high, Ended one going, maybe it's because the targeted mobs are stored within a list of some sort, and because of how they go through it, the damage is not spread evenly. They are stored in a list. The order in which you mark them is the order in which the shadow clones first attack them. Thereafter, it can get a little bit weird, but it is the order of first hits. So it would do one on that guy and one on that guy at the same time. Then it's 1-1. Then it's 1, and it would be the next one as well if it was available in the list. And then it loops around. And it's partly because of that looping that we can't just go, oh, try and 6 enemies. Because where the animations come in will then fall out of sync. There is so much going on with this. It is utterly bizarre. And if you only target one enemy at a time, it seems to be true random. It does seem to be true random. When I've targeted one enemy at a time with other setups, we've had it do various different amounts. We've had the shadow clone hitting and not hitting in various different ways, or some kind of pseudo crit. Actually, it's possibly just the crits we're seeing now I think about it. It's really hard to say. But this, such a consistent 4-4, 3-3, and then many slash blocks, yeah. Very cheers. Merlin the Age is saying, have you tested individual mod types again? Finisher mods aren't doing anything for me. When you say they aren't doing anything for you, Merlin, when you say that, are you looking at the ability damage number? Does the order in which you target matter? Yes. Can the animation for the finisher happen multiple times with... Sorry. I'll leave you to that one. And Zach, just confirming, I have received your message. We'll sort that after stream, as I said. Can the animation for the finisher happen on the same target while another one is playing? No. An enemy cannot be targeted by 2 different shadow clones at the same time. No. While Arcane was on the Inodem, that was melee exposure. It gives increased corrosive damage because elemental damage is applied at 50% effectiveness to finishers. So it's just a straight benefit there. You could use something else instead. Because melee exposure... Yeah, I don't think we had general access to legendaries at the time to get their value. So that's why I was using the exposure one. Does this pattern happen with a lot more than 5 mobs, like 20? Probably not, no, because the list then is not just the first 5 hits, it's then Shadow Clone 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 applied on. So the 5th enemy in this pattern is being hit by Shadow Clones 5, 10 and 15, which is causing these procs we're seeing. And it's showing us that enemies 3 and 4, which are being targeted by Shadow Clone 3, 8, 13 and 4, 9, 14, are taking no extra hits. Melanie Age is saying, I set off with Spectre level 47 to take 50% health damage in total with unmodded Inodem, then a quick finishing touch covert lethality, which should make it lethal, but they took no more damage. Okay. So there could be a lot going on there, Merlin. For starters, you're running under the assumption that the finishing touch and covert lethality should be directly doubling your damage, is what you're describing to me. Which, to my understanding, is not how this works. So yeah, finishing damage plus 100%, finishing touch plus 60%, so that's plus 160 on top of the 60 you've got here. So I can see why you'd think that would be straight doubling, if that's exactly how it applied. I'm assuming you're using an unmodded Ash as well as an unmodded Inodem. So let's see if I can replicate your starting point. Orchid Spectre level 47. Do I even have those? Okay, well, I can't replicate this as I don't have it unlocked. Whoops. But let's go with the troopers then. For demo purposes, let's bring them out of Steel Path. That should be okay. Ash should earn 30% strength. Alright. I won't be able to demonstrate exactly what you're seeing, but let's try and do similar here. Go with this guy. You see I get 6,000 damage from the ability, plus 4 slash procs ticking away. Look at them go. Isn't that beautiful? And you'll notice the slash procs that I could see were hitting 875. So I've got 2,000s and 875s. This guy has gone just a bit below half health, in fact. That's almost perfect. Use inspector to avoid the slash issue. Define slash issue. The slash is pass-through damage. With those bonuses applied, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Slash procs of 875. So if we hit this guy now, as we just seen on this one, and we're seeing here now, the damage hasn't increased, right? And sure enough, yeah, it looks like the damage just hasn't really gone up by much, but it has gone up. I'm going to strike this one as well. The random slash procs. Okay. So we're slashing this one as well. They've both taken 4 slash procs. At least I think that one was a 4. Fairly certain it was. And you'll notice in both cases here the health bar is stopping below the first Owen Trooper, just above the 1 in their level, 195. So now I'm going to change up the modding back again. Get those off. Interact with the console, just to validate the test. Now we affect this one. And again, I should hope to get 4 procs. Yep, there we go. Wait for the damage to roll through, accounting for the slash procs as well. We're just going to get a maximum result test from this one. And it's stopped closer to the 9. You'll see there, this one is above the 1. This one, it's dropped the health to above the 9. We are getting an increase of damage here. It's just that those finisher mods are affecting the inner dem damage, not the ability damage. That's what's throwing you off. You're expecting it to increase the entire thing when that's not what it does. It's just not what it does. Let's have a look at the wiki as well. The wiki on the same details. It's saying damage is affected by ability strength, steel charge, savage silence, radiant finish, arcane fury, arcane blade charge, combo count multipliers, and viral status. It's saying melee damage mods do increase the damage, including finishing touch, covert lethality, but it's not actually saying how it increases it. The wiki is incomplete there, because demonstrably we can see it's not increasing the Bladestorm damage from the ability. We can see that physically ourselves. So the wiki is showing incomplete information there. Does Bladestorm need high strength, or is it negligible compared to the stat stick? Negligible compared to the stat stick, but you want high strength. At least decent strength, when you use it in combination with Savage Silence. Savage Silence is an insane multiplier to our damage here, because it affects the entire lot. It is as, except for the slash procs. It affects the entire direct damage. 655% multiplier, or rather, multiplicative bonus, so 7.55 times damage increase is an insane bonus to skip over. Is it times 655? No, I thought it was times 755. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, sorry. This says increased by 300%, but the bonus there is 400. My bad. Yeah. Using mixed terminology there. So this is pre-compiled with the 100% bonus, yeah. Leads me to question 300 times 1.85. Yeah, because I've got 185 strength. 300 times 1.85 is 555, and it's showing 655. So it's got the plus 100%. This description is actually good. This isn't one that needs fixing. This is good. D have done the right thing here, because when they say finisher damage is 400%, your finisher damage is indeed 400%. If you had a strength of 0 somehow, this would read finisher damage 100%, for a complete lack of bonus to finisher damage. It's not plus 100, it's just 100. So they've done this tooltip correctly. Credit to them, they've done this one right. We can be happy with this one. It's just confusing because we're not used to that. Oh dear. They make a brilliant game, but the devil is in the details, and my god do they have devils in their details. My god do they ever. Yeah, so if I grab the Bladestorm one of this again, we got Code of Lethality, Finishing Touch. Let's see, do I have a noticeable difference here, or have I just got too much damage? If I do this one, insta-tap, just to confirm. Insta-tap, yep. Okay, Danmas, no one was asking, but fair enough. If you want to play the game differently, you go right ahead and do that. Weird. So, now let's grab the Unidam, slap off these. Hoping this does what I'm hoping for, but you never know, I might be wrong. We might just have too much damage. There we go. We saw ability damage. We see ability damage. That time it was a one-shot. Fair enough. Point being, the finisher does seem to have an effect. Not always, but sometimes. Well, it's always having the effect. It's is it enough to matter effect. Isn't it not always? There we go. Oh, gods. Yeah, Engineer 1, yeah. The mod and tooltip are both correct, and it's just for... because they're both so technically correct, it's confusing. Because D doesn't normally do that. Right. So, having revisited Ash's Bladestorm, which is the entire aim of today's stream, I can say it's exactly like the old video was. I'm going to remove the comment old. Let's edit my original comment. Upon testing on stream 11AUG24, this setup appears to work fully. Be aware that enemy hit point totals have increased with since this video, so expected one-shots may not occur at the same level. There we go, updated comment on the video, and then update the video itself. This is no longer old, so I can remove that marker and people can start enjoying the video again. I don't know how much YouTube will share it, but yeah. Boom, there we go. Sweet. Because when I mark a video as old, I just put square brackets old on it. This has a serious effect on the video in that most people that see it in a search or recommendations go, oh, I better not click that then. It's old, it is a waste of my time. Which then causes YouTube to share it to basically no one, because it realizes basically no one wants to watch it. I don't know if it's going to be able to recover now with that slight change to the title, but hopefully the YouTube algorithm is smart enough to pick up the people who are watching it again. We'll see on that one. It might be dead forever, that video, but if it is, well, I blame DE. Quite frankly. Thanks, Olive. Thank you. Grace Tavern said, just wanted to say thank you for all the work you do and the YouTube informational videos you put out. You have allowed me to play frames and playstyles I either never would have thought to try or could not find a way to make work if not for the information you put out. I'm glad it's worked out so lovely there for you, Grace, and thank you for your kind words. Welcome on in. I don't know if you actually heard what I said there because it looks like there was an ad break in progress, so I'm hoping that you heard what I just said there. Does Melee Elementalist properly affect the slash procs? I don't know, and I can check that in just one moment. However, I do need to very briefly BRB. So I'll be back in just a moment to check exactly that. Alright. Thank you everyone who was patient enough to wait around. I am back and I see that Queen has suggested we switch up to some rock. Okay. Okay, we can do that. Right, it was the Elementalist we were having a look at. The Elementalist. So, what are your thoughts on the status damage mods? Are they worth it or is it not worth it? In general, worth it. Use them in your builds that rely on status damage. Worth it on this? We're about to find out. Let's have a think on that. So, grab you. And grab you. So nothing weird should be happening or getting in the way. Just you. We see 2000, 2000, 2000, and we see 875 per tick from the slash procs. Nice and simple stuff. So let's now grab this. Melee Elementalist. And let's try that again. 2k, 2k, 2k. Still 875. No change. No change. So, on the ability damage slash proc, doesn't improve matters. Does it improve it for the shadow slash proc? I don't know. Unfortunately, there's not an easy way to test that. In fact, it's a very, very difficult test. What would be the best way to go about that? think I have a way I can test it. Let's give it a little bit more damage. Oh, but this doesn't affect those. No, let's not give it any more damage. Let's run with this. I think I have a way to test it. Yeah, oop, need to like that. Okay. Let's, with Elementalist equipped, let's get 4 procs on this guy. There we go, we'll let him bleed through. I'll wait for that to finish, then I'll switch out the mod. And then we'll do the Trinity hit point check. To see if there is a difference in their hit points. If there's no difference, then Elementalist has no discernible effect. If there is a difference, then it does. Very, very simple actually, now I think about it, because we don't need to know how much damage we're doing, just if we're doing different. Good, that's another 4 proc, so we'll wait a few seconds for that to roll through. There we go. And now let's grab Trinity. Yep, that's the test. So, do we get the same starting damage hit on both of these? 16,782. That's 16,782. We'll help this guy to his end. Ah, shit. That was in fact not the latum. I've just ruined the test. Reset. That's frustrating. I've had the latum equipped almost this entire time. This time it was the epitaph because I took it off earlier to test something else. Heck. Alright. So. 4 procs on you, please. 4 procs, there we go. Wait for it to run through. I'll just be patient, Engineer 1. I won't make any switches. Just be patient. There we go. He's taking his damage. Now we switch in Elementalist. Now we target the guy in the middle here. Again, hoping for 4 procs. 4 procs, perfect. We wait for those to run through. And then we do the Trinity test. So this one should have a higher damage taken from Trinity if this one has been affected by Elementalist. If they take the same damage, then Elementalist has not been a even single hit point worthy effect. Like this. And if the one in the middle takes more damage, then the black hole at CERN is messing with us again. Those are the 3 possibilities. So, you there. You are our baseline. You take 16,833. Good. I'm just going to wait for him to finish his ability pops. 16,833. You 17,017. Ah! So anyway, what? Magnetic damage again? far, far beyond that. This is anti-Moa again. Can the finisher proc slash from status chance? It was the same number of slash procs, and also no. It's a forced proc. This is anti-Moa all over again. And if you have no idea what I mean by that, you are blessed by not having to deal with what the ever the hell that was back when I was testing Citrine. Elementalist equipped. Smack, smack, smack. 4 procs. Good. We'll wait for those to tick through. There we go. Those are ticked through. So Elementalist is enemy number 4. We're now going to run not Elementalist. And hit enemy number 5. Who should take 4 procs, hopefully. Good. There we are. No weedy schmeedy on us on this one. Just doing what we do. Proc should be ticking through. There we go. So now we again do the Trinity test. The one that is in space 4 should have taken more damage and therefore have less health and therefore take less damage from Trinity. Should. But this one should take less damage. 17017, just like this one. Like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. And now this one should take more damage. 17042. I think I landed a crit on this guy. That's the only explanation I can think of. The Shadow Clone landed a crit on this one. Because now the numbers are right. Alright, best of 3. Shadow Clone can crit? Yes. It's just crit is additive to stealth bonus, so it's usually not worth building for. You might as well build for your finisher and just multiply stuff rather than add crap stuff together. Alright, best of 3 test, here we go. There we go, we'll get him to burn down. In fact, I'm going to do 2 of these with non-elementalists. So I've got 2 data points. We could do best of 4, in a sense. So these 2 should have identical results of that higher than 17017. And I'm going to elementalist these 3, and they should all be 17017s, or lower if I critted them invisibly. Between all of these, we should narrow this down. Yo! Yatta of the TM variety with that 38-month RE sub. Cheers indeed, my dude. Hope you're doing well as well. Yeah. Long time no see, dude. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. We are in the middle of testing something which can only be seen through a black box. We can only see some of the results and try and piece together the rest. Which is always fun. Okay. Alright. I didn't actually check to see if these guys got the right number of procs. That's on me. 5 slash procs on number 3. Ah! I love that you guys are paying more attention than I am. Thank you. So this guy should actually have a lower value. Got it. Thank you for you guys keeping an eye on that when I didn't. Ooh, that would have driven me mad. That would have driven me off the wall entirely. Number 1 also had 5? Did it? Uh-oh. Alright, let's see what happens here. You! Bam! 16764. That'll suggest a 5 procs then, okay. We'll wait for him to... Actually, I've got the later now. Perish. Thank you. Now you. 16833. So he got crit. You, 16665. Cool. You, 16958. Cool. You, 1701. So this was the only one that didn't get hit by any kind of crit shenanigans. God damn. God damn. You can see why this is so difficult to test. You can see why. Because there's so many competing stupid factors, like the slash procs being randomized, because the animation's being randomized, because the number of shadow clone hits happening being randomized, but also not entirely randomized, but mostly, but not. Oh my god. And then we have the critical hits happening invisibly on the shadow clone hits, further affecting the damage being dealt. Wait, Ash clones can... I swear we're going to get this every time. Yes, yes they can. Check out my guide to Ash's Bladestorm. Apparently it still works, so just follow the guide. Wonder why the randomized shadow clone animations? Honestly, no idea. I don't know why they're randomized. I don't know why they have the number of hits they do being random. And I don't know why they're actually only pseudo-random, whereupon you can get consistent-ish results by setting up the right number of enemies. Like, watch this. This is going to hurt me to demonstrate. It continues to hurt me, but if I'm aware of it, I might as well make you aware of it as well, so you too can be hurt by this knowledge. You ready? Enemies will receive a random number of procs. It's going to be different on each of them, or at least it could be different on each of them. And as a result of being completely different, I'm going to use the same ability on all of them, and it's going to be 4, 4, 3, 3, and then 6 or more slash procs. You ready? He's taking his procs. 4, 4, 3, 4, 7. Okay, this one changed. I was close. I got 80% of it correct. I was off by 1 on this one. Off by 1. So let's do that again. Just in case maybe I'm talking out my ass here. 4 procs. 4 procs. 3, 3, 6. %90 accurate. I'll take that. It's random, except it isn't. Jesus, I just... Malholic saying, if my new core is corrosive and heat both at 159.2 damage, which procs first? Neither. There is no first. There is no first. Flo, throwing some spanners into matter. It seems that Dread has a hidden combo mechanic in its regular mode, similar to snipers. After landing 2 hits without missing any successive hits within about 5 seconds, will benefit from a 2 times damage multiplier and depend from at least damage crits. Blah, 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 blah. Well, this streams hidden obscure things. Oh, okay, the Dread is a sniper. Got it. We'll save that one for another stream. This game, I swear. I swear. Dread Incarnate said, I haven't fully... Oops, bollocks, it's not a Warframe. I haven't fully leveled Dread Incarnate, so I might not get the same results as you, but you know what? Sure. Can I get this to a nice flat crit? Can I get a plus 100% crit chance? I don't think I have the mods to get a plus 100% crit chance. I think I've set them up that way. No. Alright. 87.5 will have to do. Need rank 3 point strike? Of course I have a rank 2, not a rank 3. That's so frustrating. This'll do. For this test, it should have to do. 54, 54, 107, 107, 107. Sure enough. If I just bump a few things into the middle of nowhere. 54, 54, 107. Just need to miss once. Okay. Oops, not a crit. 91. 90. What? 54. 54. 107. Miss. 54. 54. 107. Miss. Oop. 91? What? Oh, have I got some condition overload effect going on? That's what it is. 107. 107. 54. 54. 107. Okay. Yeah, just... So the Dread has built-in sniper combo. Is Shaka a sniper? Not normally, no. Can we get more then? Why am I doing more damage on this one? So does it go above this 107? Apparently not. So it's not sniper combo, it is just 3 successful hits in a row is double damage. After the first 2. No, wait, we've gone up. We have gone up. It is sniper combo. It took a lot longer than I expected, but yeah, no, sure, it's sniper combo. Oh, I'm ammo. Okay. Oh, was that the 50% bonus? Oh, okay, I didn't realise I'd done that much damage. The Evolution 2... Yeah. No, never mind then. Never mind. Yeah, I'd got him that low on health, wasn't it? Yeah, that's why I'm getting the 91s. Right, yeah, so if we keep hitting this guy for a bit, I will get him below that, and there it is. That's what we're seeing. Thanks, Flo. Okay, so yeah, it's not sniper combo, it's just after 3 consecutive... Sorry, after 2, the next one goes up. Okay. Why is this game so complicated? Like, why? Why is it so complicated? It doesn't need to be this complicated. The game is already complicated. People get confused out of their goddamn mind just looking at the modding screen for the first time. They look at this and mods and polarities and just crumble. And that small percentage that manages to get past that actually gets somewhere, only to then discover that 165% is not 165%. Again, finally started a triathlon? Nice! Congrats on that. I actually talk about triathlons in the next video, coming out tomorrow, for all of about 10 seconds. Just long enough to say no, basically. Imagine if there's a tutorial that explained this. I mean, tutorials are one thing, but this game, you have to admit, is at times needlessly overcomplicated. Needlessly. Like, why is it there? Anyway, that aside, we have learned a lot. We have learned that Melee Elementalist does appear to have an effect on the shadow clone damage, not on the ability damage from Bladestorm. I would still say it's probably not worth a slot because the slash procs are not what you're there for on Bladestorm. You want the actual big heavy hit by using an appropriate melee weapon like the Inadem. So go back to my video guide on it. It's absolutely accurate. At least accurate enough that you'll get your job done. Enemy hit points have increased since that video, so yeah. It's been nerfed, but so has everything else that relies on bypassing armor. That's just how it be. Beyond that, yeah, it just works. Everything we've tested with Ash, everything we looked into, everything we've verified, it's all still there. And I couldn't actually find the patch note that I thought existed to say that you'd done something, so I guess it just invisibly happened, but then worked again, so God knows what was happening on that. God knows. Have I looked to see if Metal Auger affects Bladestorm? It doesn't. Next. No. Combining raw and elements, this is pretty fun. Sure, but it's nothing to do with what you do to get the most out of Ash, because you won't be using raw, you'll be using silence with Savage Silence Augment. You don't want to use raw for that. Were you talking about the amalgam something or other? Alright. I'm going to need you to say what you're actually on about rather than try me to guess it through things. Oh, amalgam Argonac. Right. Amalgam Argonac Metal Auger. Damage from daggers reduces armor by 6. Okay, first thing, it's not going to matter because you're doing finishes and then slash procs. So this literally doesn't matter. You should be killing them anyway. The armor's not going to be there. Second, even if it does hit, it's going to be applying up to 3 times, which means you'll be reducing their base armor by 18, which for the vast majority of enemies is of so little consequence, you might as well be pissing into the wind. Am I a real engineer? No, I'm a engineer. Not an engineer. Thirdly, how would we even verify that? Oops. Okay. Do those, combine those details here.
You are a true hunter. Where would the sanctuary be without you?
Does Abbott credit engineering programs, or is there a different body for it? The only engineering program currently available on the planet is through yours truly. We currently have 1 space available if you'd like to sign up for coaching. Engineering is a multidisciplinary thing, so we have those who are interested in Warframe building, those who are interested in launching a YouTube career, those who are interested in guidance on writing a sci-fi story, of which I'll give no further details, because it's not my place. So, technically, I suppose, if you head on over to Patreon, there is an option there. There is 1 space left on it. It's why there is a gap at the top of the, what do you call it? The supporter banner or supporter page at the end of videos, where you'll see 5 people listed under Infinity. There is a 6th slot waiting to be claimed. But only if you really need it. Only if you really need it. Okay, so, test for this, I want Butchers, because they have a base of 5 armor, I think. Please don't die. Maybe that hit points. It works, there you go. No armor left. It works. YouTube channel 1 does sound worth. Fair enough. I've had a couple of people sign up through that now. One of them looked into everything and went, you know what, I've not actually got the time to implement the coaching, so they didn't, which is fair enough. And another one, I believe, is still a creator today. Let's see how they're doing, actually. Just quickly load up. Where are you at? There they are. Yeah, they're still posting. Last videos are, what's that, 6,500 views? Well done. Yep. Org mod for any instance of damage that applies with DOTs too. Ah, good point. Okay, yeah. I suppose then, with that in mind, you could indeed armor strip significant enemies with it because of the amount of slash box you'll get. At minimum, you'll get 27 hits from the slash box. Assuming they count the full thing there. Let's get a stronger enemy and see what happens on that one. Too strong. Alright. With what little modding I have, what happens first? Do we strip your armor, or do you die? With this very, very tiny modding, what happens first? It looks like, if I dare say, the slash procs from the ability don't seem to be affecting the armor. Unless it doesn't show. I think the shield's slightly down? I genuinely cannot tell. Shield Toxicist? Did I do a video on that one? I don't remember if I did, to be honest. There's so many incarnates. Yeah, look, this is not a viable armor strip method. This is absolutely not a viable armor strip method. It worked on the Butcher, but they have 5 base. This is a heavy gunner, and it's just not happening. I've got unmodded Ash. I've got no bonuses happening here. I think that's near enough unmodded melee as well. We've nearly killed the thing. Its armor isn't even close to going down. Yeah, whereas I could just swing. These guys have a lot of armor. There we are. We're finally cracking it. There we are. Finally cracked it. Yeah. That just shows how far away we were from actually reducing the armor using the ability. So, technically, yes, it works, but it doesn't. I don't know why I'm even shooting that. Does that affect double if you proc melee duplicate? Probably. Maybe. Possibly. In any case, that's getting outside of Ash stuff, so I am going to draw a line under that one there. I think it's about time that we do a Platinum giveaway. If you've not already grabbed yourself a ticket for it, ! Ticket in the chat for a chance to win it. Well, this is completely separate to the summer bonus, which we did have a draw of earlier today. I will be arranging to get that prime frame over to the winner of that after this stream, because they have claimed it, so it is theirs. I'll give all y'all a moment to grab a ticket if you've not already done so. It is just 1 ticket per person as well, so if you already have a ticket, the bot will just tell you too many tickets. If you haven't already got a ticket, time to grab one. And I do see we have got actually quite a bunch of people here. This is their very first message in the channel. So, if you are completely new to the channel, I recommend a couple of things whilst you're at it. Number 1, hit that follow button so that you get a notification for when I go live. I'm live 3 days a week, barring if I have to travel for various reasons, but usually 3 days a week. And second to that, the other thing you consider doing, if you have the means, is to support the channel further by subscribing, either for free with your Amazon Prime, or if you don't have that available, you can still subscribe in your local currency to support the channel, remove the ads, and get more benefits in the process. And that is the entirety of the selling out I'm going to do right now. It's better that than some ad read from a mobile game, right? Prevent me from reading out mobile game ads. Subscribe to the channel, please. I don't want to read out the mobile games, they're so crap, most of them. They are so bad. Anyway, That's enough time for everyone to grab themselves a ticket if you actually wanted one. Let's grab that now. You can't rely on Mirror Lake for everything, Snake. That's rude. No. Let's close up the entries there. Let's see who's the winner today of the Platinum giveaway. It's only going to be, and I'm quoting the username here, I love Rocket League 6942. Just to be clear, I am quoting the username on that one. Congratulations on that. I'll be sending you a message shortly after the end of the stream. Get a hold of your Warframe username, platform, and cross-save status, so we can get that Platinum sent on over to you there. They were new earlier? They were indeed, yeah. I think this was their first Engineer stream they've joined into, so there we are. Oh goodness, guys, no, no. Do not say such foul things here. How dare all of you. That's it, we're wrapping up the stream now. We've done our raffle, we've done our sub bonus, we've demonstrated that Ash still absolutely obliterates just fine. So I think it's about time we head on over to another part of the Warframe community. Let's see, who can we raid on into today? That is the eternal question at the end of these streams, isn't it? That is the eternal question. Ash is still weird. Ash is weird, but Ash is strong. And I guess that's all that people really care about in this game. I do all the searching on the weird things to check what can I turn into strong, and then you guys just go, haha, strong go burr. It works. Engineer reading mobile game ads? I mean, it happened once. Just once. Sunset went searching hit ads. Yeah, that happens, doesn't it? That happens. Is there a name that jumps out at me we want to run into? We've got Gaz available. We've got a lot of VTubers as ever, which if you want to go there, you go there. That's your own choice, not mine. Yeah, I think it might be a Gaz day. Yep. Let's just get that in. It's Gaz _ TTV. Show me the right logo. There it is. Yep, got it right. Cool. We're raiding on over to Gaz today. So, to everyone, thank you very much for joining in today. Hope you have enjoyed this little foray into Ash. And by little, I mean 3 hours of pain. But we got there. Everything is working. The video is still correct. You can dominate the enemies. Absolutely fine. But that is all for me. I'll catch you in the next one. Live once again on Wednesday. And in the meantime, have a great start to your week. Bye-bye.